Use Airtel Money to pay for all your Yaka bills conveniently. Open the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to a first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 17th day, Sunday of July 2022. My name is Lorid Masika Kazimoto, and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language will be joining us in just a bit. Well, there he is. Now we start off today's newscast with President Yoweri Museveni has sent his condolences to the family of the late Joseph Kaida, who was a strong supporter of the NRA guerrilla war in the 1980s. Now, his condolence message was delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, to the family in Isunga village, Kagadi district.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has asked parents to invest in the education of their children to develop the human resource of the country. Nabanja was delivering a condolence message to the family of the late Joseph Kaida on behalf of President Yoweri Museveni.
President yatumire yangamba ngumbaletera obutumwa bwa muzeyi Paso kabaira mumanyira ze Paso ampaire milioni 10 omuntu ngeke simu ekiro kya hati yemba itamanyire.
The Buyaga East Member of Parliament Eric Musana asked the Prime Minister to support Isunga Police Station because it's in a dilapidated form.
Isunga Police Station. President no yeyire mundu ya tereza binu byona. Boyino rabahali rozirengeri eri. Kandi obutumwa bone. Minister abuyine tonga tebule mu budget. Benki manyena asakuragira ebintu nibitereraho. Isunga teri bulungi. Ikyakabiri, Madam Prime Minister Chkwasire na amaizi.
The children of late Joseph Kaida, led by Pascal Kaida, described their father as a hardworking man who loved his family.
Akawa msaija msubuzi, akawa msaija munanu, akawa msaija ngozi za wabana. Kandi milimo bye bikyokurora asubiri kuhangara myaka gyahikiro. Tukusima mukama anyakusoboire kumuwa obwomezi okwigali mukama yamwiteire ituweri.
The late Joseph Kaida died at the age of 87 and succumbed to bone cancer and survived by over 30 children, grandchildren and widows. President Museveni contributed 10 million shillings towards the burial expenses, while Nabanja contributed 2 million shillings. Later, the Prime Minister inspected the progress of the NRM house in Kakumiro and was pleased with the work done so far. She also visited Chisengwe Health Center 3, where all staff were found on duty and the patients were happy with the services offered.
The Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi, has appreciated the efforts of a committee that restored the late Kabaka Mutesa's Rolls-Royce car. The Kabaka was officially handed over the vehicle during his 67th birthday celebrations at Mengo Palace grounds. Take a look.
Buganda Kingdom has celebrated the 67th birthday of Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II at a function held at Bulange Royal Palace, Mengo. It should be remembered that on every 13th of April annually, Kabaka Mutebi II celebrates his birthday. However, this year he was not in the country to celebrate the day. At a function attended by only the invited guests earlier morning on 17th of July 2022, Katekiro Charles Peter Maiga reminded people to continue avoiding and preventing ways of contracting HIV/AIDS as they remember Kabaka is the goodwill ambassador of fighting against AIDS in Africa.
Mu kiwandiiko kye nnafulumya ku lwa 13 Apuli nategeeza Obuganda nti okujaguza okutuufu okw'amazaalibwa ga Sseggwanga kusaana kweyolekera mu kukola ebyo byonna byatukubiriza okujaguza okutuufu.
Katikiro reported to Kabaka that recent Kabaka run attracted crowds of people, all aiming to fight against AIDS, and all kits that were brought got finished.
Twakozesa obujozi emitwalo 8 bwagulibwa ne buggwawo. Mu kudduka okwo kitaffe yali atukoowoola okwetangira Mukenenya. Nebaza bonna abeetaba mu misinde egyo egyamenye likodi mu Africa. Mu ssemazinga wa Africa tewabangawo misinde gyali gibaddemu bantu bangi okwenkana awo.
The State Minister for ICT in Central Government, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwawo, was among the guests and congratulated His Majesty for turning 67.
Tusaba Katonda amwongere obulamu obulungi, amwongere emikisa mu byonna byakola, amuwe amaanyi, amuwe amagezi, amuwe okulunganyizibwa mu buli kyonna kyakola, kubanga bituyamba fenga abantu aba Uganda, fenna aba Buganda, Uganda n'ensi yonna bituyamba. Tumwebaza kuba nti atuse ku lunaku luno, twebaza Katonda yatumuwa kuba yamanya nti yoyo anaasobola okumakuma Obuganda okubuzaawo.
When Kabaka arrived, he unveiled the Rolls-Royce car that has been restored. Through Katikiro, Kabaka applauded the committee that made efforts to re-engineer the vehicle.
Empalabwa mu kufunza byonna emmotoka yo yaggwa. Etokota, etambula, era eri mu kifaananyi kiri Ssekabaka Muteesa mwe yagikozesezanga.
In attendance were the Prince David Wasajja, former Buganda Katikiros, Kampala Lord Mayor, members of Parliament and other invited guests. Sada Mubale, Andrew Sebira, UBC News.
The Rolls-Royce, a very prestigious car, as you can see, as you did see in that footage right there. Thank you, Saddam Abale. Now, President Yoweri Museveni this weekend paid tribute to the founders of St. Henry's College, Chitovu in Masaka City, saying they shared the vision of the NRM to bring about social economic transformation. This was in a speech read for him by Vice President Major Jessica Lupo, who represented him at the school's centenary celebrations in Masaka City. He thanked the school leadership for churning out students of courage and influence.
This is the march past before Our Excellency the Vice President.
It was a centennial of celebrations with joyous homecoming as old boys from over the years turned up to boost the school, marking 100 years from a humble beginning from 23 students to over 1,600. And a teaching staff of 150 down from 8 only. Hundreds of students and old boys from different years participated in the march parade organized by the UPDF. While officiating at the celebrations, President Yoweri Museveni, who was represented by Vice President Major Retired Jessica Lupo, commissioned 1.7 billion science laboratory and laid a foundation stone for the construction of the Centennial Education Center. In his remarks read after Holy Mass that was presided over by Matthias Sekamanya, the Bishop Emeritus of Lugasi Diocese, President Museveni said that with the success story of the school, he had no doubt that this school builds and grooms students ready to take the different challenges in the world.
The recognition for commitment to promotion of science, expansion of education, governance and security including contribution to the East African integration and gender mainstreaming in education, is a record of our resolute passion and vision to see that our country surpasses other economies of the world.
The president also said that education should not only build the minds of the students, but also their hearts. He made reference to the Parish Development Model, a government of Uganda program which is geared to bringing more people into the money economy. The headmaster, Reverend Brother Augustine Mugabo, thanked the students and old boys for nurturing the seed planted by the white fathers 100 years ago. He noted the contribution of the government in construction of the 3-storied science lab, which he said would boost the teaching of sciences and innovation. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Ms. Kate Lamoro, pledged more support to the school so that the teaching of sciences is continually affirmed as a government policy. The celebrations held under the theme, A Century of Botia's Harvest, saw several speakers held the journey that makes St. Henry's College Kitovu one of the most sought colleges in the country. At the celebrations, a number of people were recognized, including Zawede Margaret, a secretary who has been at the school since 1977 and is still serving. Present at the function were the area members of parliament, political, religious and security leaders from the Greater Masaka region.
1-0.
Etole Ed Archangel, UBC News.
A female SGA security guard attached to Kagadi Stanbic Bank has been shot dead by a colleague following a misunderstanding. The Kagadi District Police Commander, Moses Chichoncho Muzima, identified the deceased as Barbara Chiza, 28 years, attached to SGA security from Chiriambe village in Bugambe, Sub-County, Hoima District.
Kagadi District Police Commander Moses Chichoncho Muzima has confirmed the murder of a security guard by a colleague in Kagadi.
Agreed with the colleague, and he knows the colleague is armed and all himself is armed. These matters, we just don't need to comment on them lightly. The supervisors, first of all, of this security company must be sitting down their personnel.
Agok Dickens is said to have pulled the trigger of an AK-47 rifle that ended the life of Barbara Kiza of 28 years, attached to SGA security and hailing from Chiriambe in Bugambe Sub-County, Hoima District. The suspect is currently detained at Kagadi Police Station as investigations into the issue commence. The gun and cartridges have been retrieved from Kagadi Stanbic Bank entrance. Eyewitnesses say they heard a gunshot and a woman screaming at the top of her voice for help, and immediately after fell silent only to find her motionlessly lying in a pool of blood.
Tugira kurengera na gira moti nyuma nagwa hasi nagwa hasi amaguru nagagira ati na mara na yetereza kurungi na arasana na mara.
No husband. I've never seen a husband in her house. I've never seen anybody in the house. She was loving God so much.
Very unfortunate event right there. Now, the Ministry of Water and Environment, in conjunction with the National Forest Authority and Worldwide Fund for Nature, have embarked on restoration of Kagombe Central Forest Reserve in Kagadi and Chibale districts. They have so far planted over 8,000 tree seedlings in the depleted forest reserve. Take a look.
The Minister of State for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, has underscored the importance of preserving the environment and urged communities to use alternative means of survival like fishing, beekeeping, growing of coffee and cashew nuts. She was witnessing a tree planting campaign at restoring Kagombe Forest Reserve in Greater Chibale at the fringes of River Muzizi in Nyamarunda Sub-County, Chibale District.
Because they were cutting big trees for commercial purposes. But this ordinary community, we are just looking for planting maize, maybe planting a few things for survival. Now, with the negotiation, and this is the engagement we have as government, it wouldn't be good to just chase people out of a source of survival. They would have gone there for various reasons. That's why we engage in the dialogue with them. And that is why my team of NFA and other development partners have done a great job to engage the communities and let them see that the effect of destroying the natural environment is advanced. The heat, the dry season, there's no water, and then the sickness which is accruing, they have now embraced it.
The Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, urged residents to conserve forests and wetlands for survival of both humans and wildlife.
If government has left, we are not harassing you. Just go then. Plant what is on. You get what you get, you run away. Don't put. I told them. You know, someone was telling them, no, you even put houses, put coffee, please put banana plantations. Nobody will touch you. I said, no. One day, it may not be the government of Mr. Museveni. It could be government of another bodies will not allow you to stay there for that.
The Executive Director, National Forest Authority, Tom Okello, told residents that at least 70% of the forest cover in Bunyoro sub-region, that include Budongo, Bugoma and Kagombe forest reserves, are being encroached upon.
We have money which we are putting in these communities. We are giving them beehives and very many. But through organized groups like the one which we are building here, we are going to give them beehives. We are going to allow them to put it in the forest so that they can harvest honey. And we are also going to train them on how they can process that honey so that it goes to the market and they get money.
Residents of the affected areas in Nyamarunda, Bujogoro, Chaterekera and Mohoro sub-counties thanked National Forestry Authority and the Ministry of Environment for sensitizing them about the value of conserving the environment.
Kugenda nitureba harimo kwijama amagoba ginji abwo kuba batwegishije sevingi twatandika gusevinga atumwana bamubinga hisomero nuhaya gasete.
Kagome Forest Reserve is the largest tropic rainforest reserve in Bunyoro sub-region, which covers 17,571 hectares, followed by Bugoma and Budongo. Central Forest Reserve, Kagombe is host to over 1,000 chips, monkeys and other endemic trees and animal species, and stretches from Lake Albert fringes to Mubende, Sudat, Kai, Andrew Musinguzi, UBC News.
Now, the parents of the late Betungura Bewati have called for justice for their son who was stabbed to death during guild election campaigns at Makerere University. His parents, Benson Muchunguzi and Natkunda Jessica, said this at the burial ceremony of their son in Kamwenge district.
It's often said that the pain of losing a child is felt more by his or her parent than anybody else. Benson Muchunguzi and Natukunda Jessica of Malere village in Kamwenge district are in great pain after burying their firstborn Betungura Bewati, who was killed during a guild presidential campaign fracas at Makerere University. 27-year-old Betungura was buried in Kamwenge this weekend on Saturday. He was pursuing a Bachelor's of Laws degree at Uganda Christian University in Mukono.
Actually, this has been a terrible thing, because being a firstborn.
Benson Muchunguzi says on the fateful day he received several phone calls from Kampala, relaying to him the news of his child's death, but knowing that his son was at Uganda Christian University, he took long to accept the bad news.
Who knew about it, and they had to raise me, and when I heard of this information, this news, actually I was very bad off. And it was just very absurd.
After receiving the news, I didn't believe, because they told me when we were on the way coming home. But I didn't cry because I had not yet believed. I just believed when I saw the tents. And we promise, since we have lost him, we shall work hard to feel his praise.
Muchunguzi explains that the deceased was humblest amongst his peers and appealed for justice.
The late was a very good man, a very good boy, a very courageous boy, a very hard-working boy, and a very knowledgeable boy.
The FDC Guild presidential candidate Justus Tumushaba explains how he knew the deceased and what happened that day.
Yeah, the deceased was a brother of mine, a good friend, a long-time friend. We met in high school. That was 2014. He was a very good friend of mine, and I was so glad to have such a friend in life, but it is so hurting that he's no more.
Vetungura was a prominent person in his own right. And for us as the FDC chapter, we pledge to do whatever is possible to make sure that justice is served.
The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, who is also the area member of Parliament, blamed bad politics and promised to support the family in quest for justice.
As the area MP for this place, I friend to the family. We shall do whatever it takes, whatever is humanly possible in our means, to demand for justice of the departed.
Hundreds of mourners attended the burial and all called for justice. It was an ordinary day for many Ugandans, but to the family of Wetungura Biwot, it is a day that will forever remain in their hearts, a day that this soil swallowed their son, a day that their son went for a journey of no return. Sadam Mubale, UBC News, in Kamwenge district, here in Malere village.
Well, we do mourn with the family and friends. May his soul rest in peace. Moving on, the Luzira-based Elite Umoja Boda Boda Group has launched stickers that will identify them as supporters of the NRM party to increase its visibility in urban areas. This has been disclosed by the chairperson Elite Umoja Boda Boda Group in Luzira, Luanga Medi, while sensitizing cyclists on how to conduct themselves while on duty.
The race for the presidential position in 2026 has been boosted by the launch of NRM stickers for the NRM party. This follows the launch of NRM stickers to be used by Boda Boda riders in Luzira. Luanga Medi, the chairperson, Elite Umoja Boda Boda Group, says the stickers will create an impact in camp.
Twavuddeyo n'enteekateeka eno ey'okuvuga stickers zino nga ffe aba boda boda nga twegattira wamu n'abakyala abavuga boda n'abakyala abakola emirimu egy'enjawulo okuwagira afande Muhoozi okumunoonyeza akalulu nga luli era twakikola twanoonya akalulu ka president nga tutaddeko sticker zino. Ffe sticker zino tugiteekako nga bw'ogiraba ebeerako ne number plate yaayo. Ffe tetuvuga sticker nti tubiika oba tumenya mateeka. Era tovuga sticker eno n'ovuga pavement, tovuga sticker eno n'otomera omusirikale nedda.
Rwanga, however, urged cyclists to use the stickers properly to avoid colliding with the authorities.
Nti tulina abavubuka bangi abeetaaga okuyambibwa ninga ate obusobozi bwe tulina butono. N'abasirikale luli bwe twali tunoonya akalulu ka president, abasirikale bangi abakwata abaana bange abaali bataddeko sticker zino. Naye leero tukikoze era tuvuddeyo nga tubalaga nti tuli mu bwerufu bw'omusirikale tubuulire kiki ky'oyagala naffe tukunnyonnyole lwaki tuvuddeyo okola kino.
Some of the riders say the stickers are timely and pledge to support the NRM party in 2026. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Hoima Catholic Diocese Bishop, the Right Reverend Vincent Chirabo, has ordained 11 priests and 8 deacons. The diocese now has 217 priests and 9 deacons in the diocese that covers the entire Bunyoro sub-region. The bishop granted the newly ordained priests powers to administer to the faithful.
The Bishop of Hoima Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Vincent Chirabo, has ordained 11 priests and 8 deacons at Our Lady of Lourdes Cathedral, Bujumbura, Hoima City. State Minister for Public Service, area members of Parliament and hundreds of Christians from all the 9 districts of Bunyoro attended the ordination. Ordination is the sacramental ceremony in which a man becomes a deacon, priest or bishop and enabled to minister in Christ's name and that of the church. Speaking after performing ordination rituals, Bishop Chirabo deployed them to different parishes in Hoima Catholic Diocese and urged the new priests to be good servants.
Okumurukwiza kutunga omulimo nimugonza kwereza abantu ba Rwanda ab'emikono yenda kujja kubataho na buli kisengo kya mwoyo kulikirire nigonza.
One of the newly ordained priests, Father Andrew Kahwa Amula, commended parents, teachers and the church for guiding them to achieve the priestly honor.
Nibaijjaho abagole batumye ebintu bibiri. Ekyokubanza abagole basaba musabire nikosobole kuyiza Kristo yakusaba n'ebirumulaganize kakyotaha kino. Ekyakabiri abagole babalaliza omisa okusiima ezisobola kujja kusoma mu maka g'abazaire baabwe kutandikana n'enjya.
Bunyoro Chitara Kingdom Acting Prime Minister Nyendoha Mutiti asked parents to send their sons to the seminary so as to be ordained priests to serve the church.
Abantu bano kirokina abajwekere usazoti na budikoni tebakugenda arambuza okuteera emirimu no bagambire bagenda kubatuma kiroki iwe ogenda okwo okujja kuseera arangudo noseera mulimo nikubula.
The State Minister for Public Service, Grace Mary Mugasa, commended parents who offered their children to serve the church. Hoima Diocese has now a total of 217 priests and 9 deacons.
Residents of Nawanjofu sub-county in Butaleja district have asked government to construct more health centers in their area in order to reduce the levels of teenage pregnancy in the communities. Residents attribute the high levels of teenage pregnancy to inadequate health centers which can avail them with contraceptives. We have the details.
Butaleja is one of the districts in the country with high teenage pregnancy at an estimated 30% rate. This is evidenced by the district having the youngest grandmother at 27 years. According to residents, such instances would be controlled if they had more health centers from where they could get family planning measures.
Butaleja was #1. You may not know that this is the district where we have the youngest grandmother, a younger girl who became a grandmother at the age of 27. So that means there is need for health facilities in this area where people can go and they are taught about family planning. They can go and they tell them, check about their health.
Area residents have vowed to erect a health center which will be used to handle minor health services as they wait for government intervention.
When we launch a health center, someone who would die when they are rushing him to say like Busole Hospital, which is say like 13 kilometers away, 20 kilometers away from here. I think it will be nearer for that person to be rushed to the hospital and attended to. So we have decided as a community of the Church of Uganda Buhadyo, together with our Lord Bishop, to come up with an initiative, a campaign to open up a health center in this community.
Residents have also raised concern about government programs, which they said do not reach their area.
The government has done more than enough, but maybe the hands that things are going through may not necessarily be right. Other things may not be reaching to the common person. You've seen people here. Very many people are very poor. People have not, very few have built like, they are still in grad-sized houses.
This was during a Thanksgiving ceremony in Buhadio Church of Uganda, where the Bishop of Bukedi Diocese, the Right Reverend Samuel Legesa, called upon Christians to meditate upon how far the Lord has brought them, to offer him thanks.
It's a command. It's a command. God actually commanded that we must give thanksgiving. But also number two, it's an act of worship. It's a component of worship. Then number three, we give thanksgiving because God himself is so generous. He gave us his only son, Jesus Christ, to die for us on the cross. Then we also give thanks because actually whatever we have belongs to God. We are only stewards.
Mary Namkose, Butaleja District.
Wow, the youngest grandmother at 27 years. UBC News Tonight. Now, government is calling on everyone to be involved in promoting food safety to prevent, detect and manage foodborne risks. Now, State Minister for Agriculture Fred Bwino Chakulaga says food safety is key in achieving sustainable development goals that include hunger, achieving food security and improved nutrition by ensuring sustainable quality production and consumption. We have more.
A training by trade of agriculture safety and efficiently in East Africa aimed at promoting food safety to prevent, detect and manage foodborne risks has been held in Kampala. State Minister for Agriculture Fred Bwino Chakulaga emphasized government's commitment to ensure food safety for the population.
There is no food security without food safety, especially in a world where the food supply chain has become more complex.
Food safety experts want government to pay attention to food safety issues because borders are open to food trade globally.
The standard that we are now training them on, ISO 22000 standard, is a very nice standard because it talks about the different requirements that they need to meet. And one of the things that they should ensure in their companies as food businesses is that there is good leadership in place. There are issues around food safety policy, coming up with food safety objectives and all that really should be able to guide the food safety management system, and that is really coming from the top management. So
Martha Byanyima works with Trade of Agriculture Safety and Efficiently in East Africa project.
So all the companies operating in the ESC should be implementing this standard. If you have a facility producing a food product you want to place on the Ugandan market, on the Kenyan market or any other market, then you must have a system compliant with this standard. That is why we are making it priority.
Food safety training is aimed at creating awareness, inspiring action amongst food processors, handlers and general public in a bid to prevent, detect and manage foodborne risks.
As consumers, all of us are consumers, even me I'm a consumer, even you out there you are consumers. We have a very big role in food safety. Some of us produce our own food. Therefore, we need to take measures in production of our own food to make sure that when we eat it, it does not cause harm. But we also have a choice as consumers because we are the ones who select the food we eat. We need to identify the people whom we think are dealing with the right food. They are dealing in foods which is not treated with chemicals. They are dealing in foods which is not contaminated. And they are dealing in foods which do not have any physical risk on our safety.
My name is Msima Saidat. I stay around here, but I had come to buy some meat because I was sent to buy meat, and I always buy here because this butcher, I like this butcher because it's very nice. They have nice meat. Their press is very smart and clean. They know how to promote sanitation.
Now, a number of pastors are not comfortable with the noise pollution policy that they think is likely to affect their preaching career. The head of pastors at Shiloh Ministries, Namugongo, Bikolwa Moses, says the nature of their work, high-pitched sound, is inevitable so that their message is received. We have more in this report.
This is a revival music band marching from Chaluwajala to Shiloh Ministries, Namugongo, with the aim of winning souls to God and giving a wake-up call to all Ugandans to prepare for better times. The leader of Shiloh Ministries, Namugongo, Bikolwa Moses, urges all Christians to repent following the rebirth of the revival ministries based in Namugongo. He further calls upon all other pastors.
I would say leaders have deviated from the covenant, and so they have chosen to think that becoming a leader of faith, being a pastor, it is a business. You are going to make money, and so when you get money, you are competing with the other one. That's why you are seeing that all these other there's nothing beyond that. Yes, the devil is there, but even the love of money, the pride, and everything. But once you go back to the fear of the Lord, the more you humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, the more responsible, lovely, quiet you become. Entire body of Christ. Let us desist from the fights because the people and the world is watching.
The head pastor of Shiloh Ministries, Namugongo, spoke highly of President Yoweri Museveni for allowing freedom of worship in Uganda. He, however, appealed to the president to continue helping them, especially with a new policy in the offing that is targeting noise pollution among pastors.
That still come up again and fight against these laws that are causing us not to even clap hands, not to pray, not to sing, not to praise our God because of NEMA. No. We are not polluting. Actually, it is only the church that has the power to save.
A number of pastors under Shiloh Ministries, Namugongo, who participated in the revival band march, appealed to all Ugandans to unite and spread the
nkukubiriza nganzo omwereza mweno ministry golokoka oyambala amaanyi obudde bwe buno tetukyayeho kiseera kirala ensi katonda ali mukolera ku speed ya kika kya waggulu kati gwe muganda wange abadde tannalokoka revival ezaali abaweereza ng'abasumba bakubira omulanga nga mbategeeza nti bino byebiro ebyogolokanga ekkanisa byebikolokanga abasumba tukwatire wamu mu mwoyo omu tukole omulimu katonda gwa tusokola mu ggwanga Uganda.
Stephen Kayumba, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Children are a special gift, one we must protect and nurture with care. Ensuring your child has a birth certificate opens doors for them that would otherwise be hard to access, such as immunization, school admission, or simply proving their age and belonging. Let us do our duty as parents and guardians by registering our children and getting them birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call the toll-free number 0800-211-700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out of this world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV, love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. The development and commercialization of Uganda's oil and gas resources is being undertaken through 4 flagship projects, which will bring in investment of $15 billion into the economy. The Kingfisher project will produce 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The Tilenga project will produce 190,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The 1,443-kilometer East African crude oil pipeline project will transport the produced crude oil to access the international market via the Tanga port in Tanzania. The Uganda refinery project will process up to 60,000 barrels of oil per day to provide petroleum products to the Ugandan market and its immediate neighbors. Additional exploration work is ongoing in the Kanyotava and Ngasa areas in the Albertine Graben. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, the Ministry of Local Government and PDM Coordination Secretariat, is undertaking the Parish Development Model PDM baseline data collection required to inform the implementation of the PDM. The PDM goal is to transform households still in subsistence to the money economy. The data will be collected from the households in the country by parish chiefs, supported by other qualified staff appointed by the respective local government. All the information collected will be treated with utmost confidentiality. This is to appeal to the general public to cooperate with the data collectors by providing correct information. For more information, please contact the Office of the Public and Media Relations on 0755 342 128 or 0414 706 000 or 0783 026 780. This message is brought to you by Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial star 185 star 10 star 10 hash and now you are on. No waiting.
Huh?
This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Henk Gerald Soler, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhomuza@unche.org. info@unche.org or call 0783 04 0024 or 0704 80 0926 plus 256 39 32 62 140/4.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the world of business. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, together with the Federation of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, have organized the third MSMEs Week Expo to build resilience and collaboration among enterprises. The Executive Director, John Walugembe, believes this will provide a platform to enhance business linkages and networking among small and medium-sized enterprises.
The third edition of Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Week is to focus on celebrating the innovations and contributions of MSMEs to the country's economic development. It will run from the 20th of July to 23rd at Lugogo Showgrounds.
To enhance business linkages and networking among MSMEs, and we hope to facilitate the development of socially responsible entrepreneurs of high integrity.
Capacity building sessions in the expo will enhance networking and business linkages.
They will also look at how best to expand the tax base without necessarily harming the entrepreneurial spirit of Ugandan MSMEs. We want to look at digital as a tool that can help address the issue of access to finance through improving financial inclusion.
Among the themes on the 3 days event, seek to position MSMEs to tap into opportunities in the African Continental Free Trade Area by leveraging on technology.
The most critical issue here is how do we support our businesses to sell more, to get more business, both here and in the region. That's why I talk about issues around public procurement. How can our SMEs access opportunities through public procurement? 2, how can our SMEs compete in the region to ensure that they tap into those markets? 3, how can our local consumers here know what products are made by our local SMEs so that they can support those businesses? So we believe this is critical.
The expo will be held at Iwuma Showground and is expected to host 2,000 visitors and 200 exhibitors, including MSMEs, startup entrepreneurs, business support organizations, government ministries, departments, and agencies, among others. Abdul Nasele Lubanga, UBC Business.
Dealers and manufacturers of construction materials have revealed that continued price hike of steel products is the catalyst for high cost of production. The Executive Director, Uganda Manufacturers Association, Daniel Birungi, was speaking at Uganda Manufacturers Association Annual Dealers Conference at Speak Resort in Munyonyo, near Kampala.
Dealers and manufacturers of construction materials have revealed that the continued skyrocketing of prices of steel products is the catalyst for high costs of production.
We know that in the past 1.5 years alone, the delivery time for raw material has risen from 3 months to 6 months. That, of course, impacts planning, impacts cash flow. The cost of logistics, both international and locally, has also gone up. Not to mention the cost of production, because for those of you who drive or move in vehicles of any kind, you've seen the trend on fuel prices.
The Executive Director, Uganda Manufacturers Association, Daniel Birungi, was speaking during Uganda Manufacturers Association's Annual Dealers Conference held at Speak Resort in Munyonyo, near Kampala. Daniel Birungi says the cost of production is on constant rise.
So the skyrocketing prices, as you call them, are definitely a factor that goes beyond the factory, goes beyond the dealer, but That notwithstanding, I know that each of the manufacturers, each of the dealers here are doing their best to ensure that they minimize cost increments.
During the conference, the head of business at Uganda Bati, George Arodi, advised business persons to groom and interest the second generation into their business activities, saying this gives a business ability to transit to the next level.
Limited companies, they actually family businesses, and how we actually have related over the years and through the research shows that they don't actually be able to grow beyond the second generation. And we want to unpack the reasons why they can't actually be able to grow through the second generation, because their presence and their continuity of business is actually very prime for our own business continuity as well. And that's why we need to actually arm them with the processes and systems which can make them be able to thrive beyond the second generation.
The chairperson, Construction and Hardware Association, Mutiaba Abbas, highlighted that whereas it's prudent to involve family members in the business, but it's essential to instill the right culture in the family to promote teamwork.
Our colleagues, when they are, as the doctor said, when they are at the dining, that is already a board constituted for the family business. For us, what happens? It is a big challenge, and it is something which you can think of.
Peter Chambade, a partner in tax and regulatory service, noted that one of the disadvantages of a family business is lack of shared goals and vision of businesses.
It is important also to note that yes, we may have children, we may even have other people working for us that are in the business, but they do not have exactly the same level of passion and the same vision.
Sada Mubale, UBC News.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenor of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
And now into the international scene, Zambia has extradited a Chinese filmmaker to neighboring Malawi to face charges relating to racism and child exploitation. Liu K was a Malawi resident when he was exposed by BBC Africa Eye, which reported he had used local children to film personalized greeting videos, some of which included racist content. The videos could be bought for up to $70 on Chinese social media and internet platforms. Liu K denied making derogatory videos. He had said he made them in order to spread Chinese culture to the local community. Liu K was detained last month in Zambia and fined for entering it illegally. Malawi's Attorney General Thabo Chakaka confirmed to the BBC that he had been extradited. He added that the Chinese citizen is due to appear in court on Monday in line with procedures after someone has been arrested. Also, in the wake of the film, social media platforms popular in China took steps to prevent the circulation of the types of videos from Africa.
Ministry said it would engage its Chinese counterpart.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using Tugabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Well, that does it for now, but do join us for our second edition of UBC News Tonight. We'll be having much more stories then. We'll leave you with Kutesa Mili to give us tomorrow's weather forecast. I'm Loreen Masika Kazumoto and Muhammad Mungulu on sign language interpretation. We will see you at 10. Over to you, Mili.
With your weather update, we are still experiencing light isolated showers most parts of the country, but mainly northern part of our country and the eastern region. Seeing the satellite picture over Africa is still having a ridging over the tip of South Africa that is pushing in the hazy conditions towards our country, most especially the southern sector. But the rainfall that we're experiencing is due to the moist winds that are blowing away from the Indian Ocean towards our country. Those are the showers that we're experiencing, most especially the eastern side and the northern part of our country. Tomorrow morning, we expect to wake up with light isolated showers most parts of the country, apart from southwestern of our country. They expect to continue with sunny intervals. Afternoon hours, we expect the same conditions to persist up to the evening hours. Temperature to rise up to 29 degrees of maximum most parts of the country, 27 in capital city Kampala, Kabaka Highlands with 25 degrees Celsius. It's moving out of Uganda to rank the few cities that we have for you. In the neighborhood of Nairobi is expected to have cloudy conditions at a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius. In New York with thunder showers at a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. London, Dubai and Paris with sunny conditions at a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius across London and 40 degrees Celsius across Dubai. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Mili. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.